Hello everybody, I am Oscar.
I'm Gary.
And I'm Will.
And this is our top 10 favourite films of 2014. And just to preface something, we're in the UK, we get some films we get in 2015. So expect Birdman, Whiplash, Inherent Vice, stuff like that to be John Wick to possibly be on next year's list. Because from now on, I said stuff it. Whatever year it comes out in the UK, it's coming out. I'm putting on my list. So that's why I've taken 2 films off my list, because I did see 2 films through streaming websites that were in my top 10, which were Enemy and Snowpiercer. Enemy is officially came out 2nd of January 2015 for the UK. So that's now on my 2015 list.
Okay.
And Snowpiercer has not got a UK theatre release.
Oh.
But those 2, I really hope Snowpiercer does get released in 2015, because that is a fantastic film. And if if you get a chance to see Snowpiercer, that is a great film. And Enemy's great as well.
Yeah.
So
I'm 100%, yeah.
this is going to be in 2 parts. Part 1 will be our 10 through 6 picks.
And then
Part 2 would be 5 through 1. Should be like in a 2 day. It's like this part will be one day, next part will be tomorrow. And also, before I get my list started, I want to say 5 dishonourable mentions.
Okay.
First one is 300 Rise of an Empire. That film sucked. Whether if you're a 300 fan or not, it sucked. The film sucked. And the other 4 dishonourable mentions are Ouija, Purge Anarchy, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Transformers 4. I did not see any of these, but Michael Bay's involved in all of them, so by default it makes dishonourable mentions.
One dishonourable mention for me, I would think, would be the film Noah for me, because that genuinely was a film that, if you're watching it as a fantasy film, don't expect too much. You're watching it as a critic, don't expect too much. If you're watching it for biblical accuracy, God, just stay away from this film. No!
Gary, do you have a dishonourable mention?
I Am Soldier.
That's your dishonourable mention.
That is my yes.
Gary doesn't even want to say despicable, I think.
It was absolutely turd. There was Transformers 4 as well. Which I got to see.
Yeah, you saw that.
Yes, I saw that, because I was curious. Because
that's me. Blood bending. Shut up, Gary. Stop.
Because it was a Transformers movie and I wanted to see a Transformers movie. I give money to Michael Bay. Who cares? It's only £6, whatever it was.
I just want to guess before I go further. Yeah. I'm going to guess. I think I know his number 1. Don't nod or anything. I don't know it. I'm guessing Gary's number 1 is Interstellar. I'm guessing your number 1's Guardians of the Galaxy. That's what I'm guessing.
Okay.
Any guesses of mine?
See, you watch so many films, and some of them are so obscure that I can't remember half of them. I don't know, because I don't know what films you've seen this year.
Do you have a guess, Gary?
I don't know.
Okay then, I'm a mystery. I'm a man of mystery. No, number 10, my 10th favourite film of 2014. First of all, this was a fantastic year for films. And number 10, I don't like that it's number 10, because it's a very good film, but there are 9 other films that I preferred than it, but it kind of hurts me that it's this low. Mm-hmm. And number 10 is The Guest, which was directed by Adam Wingard, who directed You're Next prior to this. And The Guest is a film that is just a rewatchable film for me. It feels like Drive, but more mainstream. I think the soundtrack is top 3 best soundtracks of the year. It's very Drive, technically symphonic type of thing. Dan Stevens is, I think he's great. I think the acting overall in the film is great. The story's very interesting. As I said, it's a very rewatchable film, and it has a cool Halloween vibe. So that's my number 10 is The Guest. Gary, what's your number 10?
Mesmer. I don't think I want to. Miss Man 2 is my top 10.
Number 10, Miss Man 2, okay.
Yeah, because it was a superhero film and I liked it when I went to go see it.
It was alright.
It was alright. It's not high enough to be. It's not good enough to be in the. Because I just prefer other film. I'd rather watch the other films than I'd rather watch this film.
Okay.
But why is it in your top 10? Because all I'm hearing is like, it's okay, it's not exactly.
It's Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man, and it was a good movie.
My number 10 top 2014 film of this year, ladies and gentlemen, was Sin City 2.
Oh wow, okay.
Because
I want to give an honorable mention to that because it's not even in my top 20, but I do.
yeah, the reason why it's in my top 10 is because I literally saw this film as a double bill. I'd just seen the first one. I was like, "Whoa, this is awesome," and I seemed to pick too many faults with the second one. It was a good film, but I kind of found myself going, "Does that make sense?
Same.
Is that canon?"
Same.
But as I admit, it's a really good film. Stylistically, I think it improved on the first one for me in some parts. The only story-wise, though, I thought some of it could have been cut out. I thought some points could have been changed to maybe fit the tone better. But I still enjoyed it as a movie, and yeah, that's why it's number 10 at least.
Okay. My 9th favourite film of 2014 is Gone Girl, directed by David Fincher. Again, I'm sad this is this low, but then again, there are 8 other films which I'm like, I kind of would rather watch that
Yeah.
more. Gone Girl, I think that the main thing that stands out for this film is Rosamund Pike, who,
Best.
if she does not win Best Lead Actress this year at the Academy Awards, if she does not win, I will shave Gary's head. Rosamund Pike deserves Best Lead Actress of this year.
At least get nominated.
She was great. Apart from that, the film was very. It addressed media a hell of a in a great way. The soundtrack deserves a nomination. For the score deserves a nomination for best sound, for best original score. Great film, great twist, and Gone Girl is the perfect date movie.
Need for Speed is my number 9.
Oh wow, okay then.
I'm really disappointed that it's actually low down because I enjoyed it because of the car movie and it's some reasons
Got four
why I
wheels.
liked it.
It's got 4 wheels.
It's better than the Fast Furious franchise.
Why compare the two?
Because the car movies!
That's just like saying Gone Girl's a Ben Affleck movie. That means bringing.
It's better than Transformer. That's got cars in it.
Exactly.
It's got Paul Walker in it.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, Gary. It's got Aaron Paul in it.
That's what I was
It's got Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul Walker in it.
I don't think he's even seen this film. Okay, my number 9 was X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Ooh.
Because, and you know what, that was a really good movie, and that is one of those films that's like, I'm surprised it's so low down. But like I said, there's a lot of
Yeah.
films that's
Same with me. It's like Gone Girl.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The reason I like Days of Future Past was because I just thought the storyline was great. It urged me to look up and try and attempt to read the Days of Future Past comic book story arc. I just thought it was really good how they integrated, the past and the
Yeah.
future/present.
Yeah, the way that they
Characters.
incorporated
Yeah.
the new cast and the old
Obviously, originally it wasn't Wolverine that went back in time, but I just
It was
thought for
Kitty
this,
Pryde,
it was a cool, little detail.
cast. Then again, I would not complain if Kitty Pryde was the lead in an X-Men film.
The after credit scene was fun. The thing that I didn't like to me, and it's just my opinion, obviously, was the kind of revitalising the annoying versions of like Jean Grey and all.
I like that because they literally said screw like the bad ones.
I did, but to me, I don't know whether that's just actress choice, Jean Grey. Or whatever.
Famke
That
Janssen, yeah.
puts me off. So, X-Men: Days of Future Past was an awesome comic book film. It was an awesome science fiction film as well. Obviously, with time travel, you get the hiccups and stuff, but putting that aside, I
Same
really
thing with
enjoyed
any
it.
time travel film. It's
Yeah,
like, yeah.
I really enjoyed it. So there's my number 9, X-Men: Days of Future Past.
My number 8 is a film that none of you have seen, and I guarantee most of you haven't. It is Kajaki, the true story. This is a British war film that is more like 12 Angry Men than it is like Saving Private Ryan in that sense. This is a great film, I think, with great dialogue, very realistic. It's very realistic, and it just felt like it paid respect. And Mark Stanley, lead actor who played Tug, I think is an award nomination worthy performance in this film, and. I'm not even sure if it's going to get released outside UK. If it does, really do check that out. Gary, you're number 8.
X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Woo!
I prefer this one compared to First Class.
Same.
Same.
It's
Because
yeah.
it felt more modern And it had more cooler things in the film compared to X-Men First Class.
Like Kitty Pryde.
And
No.
Cable.
Some of the slow ones. The story and the time period was... I like the time period. I think it was the 60s, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like the
60s, 70s. What do you call it, dude?
Peter Dinklage.
He's off.
What, Michael Jordan bouncing a basketball?
Trask. You mean Trask?
Yes.
Yeah, the dude. Right, okay.
I haven't seen it in a while, so...
Even if I don't refer to Peter Dinklage.
My number 8 is the Wes Anderson film Grand Budapest.
Oh.
Now, again, I didn't want this to be this low because I really enjoyed the overall tone and vibe and everything to it. But this was the only place I could really fit it.
Yeah.
So, Grand Budapest was a film that was not on my to watch list originally. I was just like, I've seen Moonrise Kingdom. I loved that. I'd seen Fantastic Mr. Fox. I thought that was okay. So I was like, okay, I'm not aching to see this film. But when I saw this film gain more mainstream notice,
It's
than
getting a lot
usual.
of award notice
Yeah.
considering it came out February time.
Yeah, like I'd seen this
surprising.
more advertising in mainstream outlets than I had any of his other films. So I thought, well, maybe this is a film to check out.
Which is
And I
quite
watched
odd,
it.
yeah.
Well, then I watched it with you, and then it was really good. Like I said, the tone, like even like the blend of colours, that just the cinematography, the style of it, the actors, the story itself was really good.
Yeah.
There didn't seem to be a bad thing about this film to me. It was one of those films where it's easily got a rewatchable quality. Again, I'm sad this is very low, but this is one of the films that has pure rewatchable quality.
It's in your top 10.
Yeah, it's in my top 10, so that says it all, doesn't it? So yeah, that's my number 8.
My number 7 has the greatest performance of this year by a lead actor, and that is Nightcrawler.
I wish I'd say that.
Starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Rene Russo. This film is this your number 7 as well?
No, I'm not saying anything.
Okay. Nightcrawler is the directorial debut for Dan Gilroy, who was a writer for Tony Gilroy's films, being his dad. Nightcrawler talks about from the media's point of view, and it's more of like it goes into the media side of things, how dark it can get. You can see this guy who is very unstable to begin with. But you just see how more unstable and more terrifying he gets, just as he gets more and more obsessed. But the scary thing about this is, I compared Jake Gyllenhaal's performance to Anthony Perkins' performance in Psycho, and I still stand by that, because there's moments where you look at Jake Gyllenhaal, Lou Bloom, his character, and he talks, and it's just he talks, and you see he's passionate about stuff. He gets passionate, and there's moments which you're like, which you root for him, and you're like, come on, be successful in this, do this. And then he talks, and you're like, he has a very good point. I can completely understand where he's coming from. He's right with a lot of things. And then he can just slowly, just almost like that, just make you go, oh, dude, just, especially one line, which he said to Rene Russo, which just made me go, God.
Cringy.
And the outcome, it was one of the most intense last halves of the film. It was so intense, I was near enough on the edge of my seat. As much passion I gave about Rosamund Pike for winning Best Lead Actress, as much passion given to Jake Gyllenhaal winning Best Lead Actor for this performance, because he did a great job. And Nightcrawler is my number 7, and it is a very, very good film, and it speaks a lot about media.
My number 7 is... Sorry, man.
I was lost then. I was just...
Anybody want to guess?
Is it Nightcrawler?
Yes, it is, man.
Yeah.
We have a similar mind.
I was going to say Interstellar.
Because number 9. Because Nightcrawler is a good film. Cinematography is beautiful. Did we do a review on?
Yeah, we did. We did,
Right, yes. The soundtrack was brilliant. The story was phenomenal. I love that story because it's
Screenplay deserves best a nomination.
Yeah. Because it just shows you what these people do in California. It's actually a real thing. It's based on real things. What people actually do. You get a camera, go out, do news, sell their footage on to news channels, and they're just basically the news companies don't give a damn. They just want to get the money. They don't care about the victims and often. It felt so eerie because with me playing GTA 5 a lot, it felt very GTA 5 like.
It did, yeah. The style of
I
it.
felt like it because that's what I went on GTA after when I played this. I was like, I watched the film and I was like, oh, this is this. I actually recreated some of the scenes from the movie, and it was just
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
fantastic.
Excuse me.
So it's a very good film. That's deserved to be my top. My
Top 10.
Top 10.
Okay. My number 7 is the animated film Batman Assault on Arkham.
Oh, hi. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Because you lent me this because in anticipation of the Suicide Squad movie that's coming
Yes.
out, and I hadn't seen anything to do with Suicide
I
Squad.
knew
I hadn't
nothing.
read anything.
Yeah.
So watching this film was really good. I liked how they made the characters seem all that more independent, yet they're in a group. One thing that particularly I thought really made this film for me was the portrayal of Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn seemed to have a much more independent vibe to this, a much more realistic vibe. She's not like, drooling over the Joker. She's angry at him, he's hurt her. And then when you think, she's going back to him, she's in control. She knows what she's doing. I like that relationship they had between, her and Deadshot. I thought that was it was refreshing. It was different. In a weird way, it allowed it to be more human. It wasn't really as such a Batman movie, only because it was set in the Batman universe.
The Arkham universe.
Yeah, the Arkham universe.
Which I love. I love that.
That was really cool. I liked how it focused on the Suicide Squad more than it did with the two, main primary protagonist and antagonist, Batman and Joker.
But they didn't completely side away from them. They were still there.
Yeah, they managed to integrate them and weave them into the story with such cleverness, I thought. And like I said, it was really refreshing. I like that portrayal of the Riddler, actually. That's one of my favourite portrayals. It wasn't like Superman masterful.
Yeah.
I got the feeling of more, this is a geek who knows what he's doing. And I liked Batman's design as well. He just looked cool as well, really.
I love we got to see detective mode.
Yeah.
Within the film.
That was cool.
It was like, okay, they're actually...
It's a fan service film, but it's not just fan service.
No, it's a deep...
canon.
It's a good watch. It's not on my top 10, but it's a good watch.
So, Assault on Arkham is number 7 for me.
Number 6. You two have already talked about this. It's X-Men Days of Future Past. It's number 6. Didn't make my top 5. But again, there are 5 other films that I think are better. X-Men Days of Future Past, I think handled time travel very well. It did it very well. I think it did a great... I think this is the best summer blockbuster. Is it? Yes, the best summer blockbuster of the year. Guardians felt too over the top and everything.
Yeah.
Godzilla felt too dark and gloomy. This film found a great way of going really goofy, really fun, and then really serious. I'm surprised you guys didn't mention this. Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Guys, Evan Peters is Quicksilver.
Totally
He was awesome, but he wasn't the best part. I truly do think that Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy give another level to this franchise. As much as good as Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart are, as good as Hugh Jackman is, these two make it seem like a legitimate film with the acting capability these two give. And I think the way it concluded, I was really happy with it. It's the best X-Men film ever, I think. It's one of the better superhero films we've had in a while, and I would say it's better than any Marvel Cinematic film that's come out. For me personally, I can understand. Marvel films are great. I just prefer. I'm more of an X-Men fan than I am an Avengers fan. I've just always been that way, and it just made me that more excited for Apocalypse.
Number 6 film is. You might be surprised at this one. Actually, I don't know, because
Just say it.
you might not be. I don't know about you because.
Just say it. Is it Guardians?
No, it's not Guardians.
Are you gonna say it?
It's called Lucy.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay, that's
very-
surprising.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I love the story. It just shows you. I don't really want to spoil anything, so
So I'm not going to talk about it.
Luke Besson.
it shows you how brilliant the story is because Morgan Freeman's in it. But Scarlett Johansson.
I think that's a good acting decision, not the story.
Yeah, it's a good film. Fantastic CGI.
Right.
It felt
Scarlett Johansson.
fantastic Scarlett Johansson.
No. I guarantee you, no.
That's a category.
No film this year had a better Scarlett Johansson than Under the Skin.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, so.
Oh,
Yeah. It shows you how complex the mind is, because the story...
Look, he drills over Jans.
No, it's just... I didn't like how it ended, but I had no problems with that.
Okay. I
I just didn't like the way it ended, because it just ended like that.
Did Morgan Freeman punch Scarlett Johansson in the
No, but that was sort of similar. So yeah, it was good cinematography,
Yeah.
good soundtrack. Based in Japan as well, which was good.
This was a really difficult decision, actually. This actually was one of the most hardest decisions, actually, between these two films. And number 6 is Interstellar. Because... what even? Right.
I'm very surprised at that low.
Yeah, so am I, to be honest, right? Now, the reason Interstellar is that low is because I think only... when I went to see it, I didn't know nothing about it. I didn't really know a lot of the main actors in it.
That's how you want to go into the film.
Yeah. So the story was good. I liked how it actually infused elements of science and string theory, and it was good. The actors were good in it. The story took a few unexpected turns from what I'd mapped out the story to be, so that was good. I don't mind when people say like, oh, like, it's expected. It's like, I don't mind expected. I'm comfortable with expected. Again, it was a really difficult decision, and I thought, well, it can't be any lower than 6 because it certainly can't be 7. Yeah. But Interstellar was really good. Visually, it was fantastic. The characters really felt fleshed out. They didn't feel like they were just there for the purpose of story. They felt like they had a purpose. The ending was very surprising. Very surprising, that last act, I'm gonna say.
Okay. In a good way?
In a good way. Like, I'm not saying Nolan basically recreated 2001, but I can certainly appreciate why he's chose to represent the story in such a way.
He does like 2001.
It's his favourite film, I think, isn't it? That's
He loves anything Kubrick, and I think he specifically said 2000.
Yeah.
So, yeah, at number 6, it's Interstellar.
Right then, that is our... If this is a long video, which it feels like it's going to be, that's part 1 of our top 10. Tune in tomorrow for our 5 through 1s.
And we'll be wearing the same clothes.
Same heel time, same heel channel.